I'm already telling you, when I'm looking at the futures of the NFC West and I'm ranking them 1 through 4, I'm putting the Rams at 4 automatically.
They have no future.
And I'm
It was
putting
it was either win
number
now.
one. Number one is Seattle. I'm telling you right now, it's Seattle. 2 first-round picks this year. And last year, they just got the steal of the draft. I don't care what people say. Tariq Woolen is the steal of the
Oh
draft.
yeah, for sure. And them getting rid of Russell Wilson was probably a blessing in disguise.
He's the defensive rookie of the year.
Yeah, for sure. Put that on the ballot.
And they have a really good defense. They really do.
Oh yeah.
Everyone
To your point,
wrote off.
They did what you said what the Ravens are gonna do. They didn't invest all that money on Russell Wilson. They let him go. And they invested their money in their core and their future.
Guess what though? They won that trade from the
Oh
start.
yeah, for sure.
I told people this from the start. Russell Wilson was not going to be elite in this system. Nathaniel Hackett is the worst coach in the league right now.
By far the worst.
Him and McDaniels are the two worst. I'll talk about coaches next week. Sorry, let me not get too much in that. But between the Cards and the 49ers, my issue with the 49ers is they gave up 4 picks for a running back. And listen, I have no hate towards any running back, but can we point out any running back who's been paid? Le'Veon Bell, fuck, bro, and that's all I got named. You have it. What?
Elliott, he got paid. Yeah, what happened to him? Who is he? He's garbage now.
CMC at one point looked like that.
Yeah. I mean, you pay a running back and it's almost like they evaporate.
Now, like I said, if that works out, they're number 1. I will say they might win the Super Bowl this year. I will say this.
But he's so McCaffrey's so injury prone. I mean,
he has been, but this year he has not been, which is nice to see. I will be honest though. If you're an NFL defense, right? This is a real question though. Like, who would you rather defend? Would you rather try and defend the trio of Kittle, Debo, and McCaffrey? Or would you rather defend Waddle, Hill, and Gesicki, I guess? I don't know. Whoever your third piece is, right? I would rather defend Waddle and them. I'm going to be honest. We haven't seen, since CMC's been picked to the 49ers, they haven't lost, just like Dolphins. So the Dolphins and them might be the 2 best teams moving forward this year, and they might be my picks to go to the Super Bowl. They might be.
To a certain extent. It's all going to fall on Jimmy G on what he can do.
I'll be honest, though. He has – so this is a discussion I'll have next week with Jimmy G and stuff, which I'm going to put that in my notes here for the moment because I do talk about this a lot, but with shit. 1 second. Sorry about that. We'll talk about Jimmy G and why he succeeds so much. It's pretty easy. But the brightest future to me is the Seattle Seahawks. That team, like, Kenneth Walker was a great pick. Charles Cross was a great pick. Tariq Woolen was a great pick. And now I'm looking at this, and I think to myself, if they get a quarterback in the top 10, if you go get Stroud or Young or Levis or even whoever you get, if you pick up the right guy, your future goes from here to boom. You're going.
Are you giving up on the Trevor Lawrence experience then? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Geno Smith, you mean?
I'm sorry. Yeah,
Trevor Lawrence is in Jacksonville. No,
yeah.
I'm just saying, if you have a top 10 pick, and listen, this is the first year we've seen Geno succeed. I'm just saying, I'm not saying to fully give up on him, but you do need to have a future quarterback there.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean,
I'm saying if you have a chance to go, what I'm going to say is, if you find a way, right? Say Denver's pick gives you a top 4 pick,
Which
right?
it will. It will.
It
I
might
mean,
be
let's be honest. It's going to.
If Stroud or Young is there, are you passing up on them? I mean, let's
No,
be
you
real.
take it Stroud all day.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. Well, I mean, unless the Raiders select him, but I feel like they're going to. We'll talk about that later in the. We'll talk about the draft later in the year. But what I'm saying is, Seattle might not be in a bad situation to maybe even go. You might even look at maybe Stroud, and then next year you're looking at Marvin Harrison. What I was going to say was, I'm not saying that Geno can't be that, but you have to think about this. He's 30 years old.
Oh no,
he's his first good year, and I'm not saying he isn't good. He's been better than Derek Carr. I'm a Raider fan.
He's a good spare tire right now. Let's put it that way. But once you get a good fair port, a good solid quarterback, they have 3 things going for them. Okay, they got money, they got picks, and they got a strong young core already.
Yes,
and
I'll be honest though. I mean, you look at this team, and Stroud or Levis elevates that team. And listen, I'm not saying Bryce Young isn't good. My problem with him is his frame. He is one hit away from being out of the NFL. And I've said this to every Raider fan. If you tell me that you want to take Bryce Young, then I don't know what to do. I'm not even speaking with you because Bryce Young is, dude, he needs to pack on
30, 40 pounds of muscle.
Dude,
just to even survive a hit.
30 is at the least, and that's maybe saying you're okay. But no, this guy takes one big hit. He's going to be RG3 2.0.
Yeah, he's going to be a one-hit wonder.
To me, Stroud is a guy. He's kind of like a Mahomes in a type of way where you select him to put him behind a veteran presence for 1 year, and then you say, boom, go out there and show us. Now, with the Raiders, we'll talk about the draft in a few weeks with that one. Maybe even on my other channel, I go discuss that with you at some point. But listen,
the one thing about the NFC West is I believe the dark horse is the Cardinals. The NFC West, the Cardinals, it's almost, you just don't know. I just don't believe in the little guy. I don't think they have the right quarterback for their system.
It's not even, here's the thing. It's the opposite way when I view that team. Cliff Kingsbury he's another coach I've been looking at. I'm like, bro, he is horrible. He needs to be out of the NFL, gone, don't come back. There are college coaches. There are college coaches I would take over him right now.
Oh yeah.
But Bryce's future, you could say the Cardinals have a future, but my point with them is they're kind of in the same boat as the Rams. Like, you don't know where the future is, and how long are they really keeping? If they keep Cliff Kingsbury, they're right there with the Rams. If they get rid of him and they get a competent guy, like a Brian Dable type guy, he can lead the team.